Hi everyone, welcome back to the Northern Ramblers podcast. I'm Tom Wilson and it's Ayr Gold Cup week, so we'll be previewing that card this week and also a bit of Newbury. I'm joined by James Dunkley as ever. Hello.
Hi Tom, how are you?
Good. And no pressure for the podcast this week, but at this meeting last year, we both tipped Snazzy Jazzy to win the Silver Cup at 33s. So can we repeat it?
Probably not. That was it was heavy ground last year, and it suited because you could sort of rule out half the field. And Snazzy Jazzy was a Group 3 horse lurking in a handicap.
A bog.
Yeah, probably would have gone close in the Gold Cup, to be honest, but might have won it. So, but yeah, that was a lovely little bet. That.
Yeah. Did you like that trumpet?
I did. We should get a trumpet sound, I think.
Yeah, we should get an actual trumpet, like a squeaky trumpet.
Because occasionally we do like to throw in a little trumpet from the past. It's nice to reminisce.
Yeah. 125. No, nursery handicap. Goodbye. 2 o'clock. 1 mile. Class 2 handicap. Jesus, Kinran's favourite again. Horrific. We'll go through these one by one and talk about them a little bit, or some of them one by one. I did do the draw and the pace here, and I don't think there's a draw or pace bias over 1 mile at Ayr. Someone might prove me wrong, but it wasn't. No, that wasn't noticeable enough. I've done the charts. There's odds and sods, but
I think I definitely prefer to be drawn low. You've got a left turn that comes up quite early, and if you're drawn out wide, you sort of get shuffled back, especially if there's early pace low. But yeah, if you're on a front runner, you would definitely want to be low.
No bias is my opinion. Let's see. James thinks drawn low, so let us see. I'm just clicking that now. James is right.
Shock.
Yeah, shock. Kinren, favourite again. Jesus, for another handicap on a Saturday. 11-2. Oh Jesus, no, even worse. 11-2 you can get with Sky. 11-4 with 365 and William Hill. That's horrific.
That Sky price is probably wrong. It probably hasn't been updated.
I mean, it's a soft handicap. I still can't be having Kinren at all. Runs off 101 as it's going off favourite again. Has been beaten favourite off the same mark the last 2 times out, over the same distance and in the same class. Why do we think that would change again today, even though the race is a bit softer? I actually looked into how his comparative handicap marks. He's actually 0 from 11 above 85 with 6 places. Now that doesn't mean I think he's an 85 rated horse, but he hasn't managed to win above 85 yet, and he's been floating around on 100, 101. So I'm very keen that he's making the market again, and I'll happily take Kinren on. What do you think about Kinren?
Yeah, you've totally summed him up. He is what he is. He's rated, but he's rated too high to win, you would think. But I think this is a pretty poor handicap, especially compared to the ones he has been running in. Do you know what I mean? Ascot, he's been running in the proper top level handicaps. This is definitely a step down. So if he ever was going to win one off this mark, this would be it. He's got a nice draw in 3. There is a couple of course and distance. Well, there's a course and distance specialist and Warif.
Ooh, save it. Sorry,
you're going through them, aren't you? Yeah. Oh, well, Kinren,
one by one.
This is probably his best chance of the year, I would say. Nice draw.
Yeah.
We know he struggles to win off 101, but he's getting beat off horses that are sort of progressive or just a slightly higher class than the race that he's been running in. So yeah, he's very solid. He will probably place, but there's no value at all in his price.
Yeah. Next in the market is Irreverent for your mate Richard Fahey. There's actually a form line here between Irreverent and Smile a Mile, who runs for Mark Johnson. Irreverent's 8s and Smile a Mile is 12s. in the market that I'm looking at. They raced together last time out when Irreverent won by 1.5 lengths, but he was getting £7 from Smile and Mile, and the weight swing is now only £4 between them. So I'd quite fancy Smile and Mile at that weight on that form line against Irreverent, particularly when you're getting a price angle, you're getting 4 points bigger. So that's not necessarily my opinion on the race, but just to talk about Irreverent and Smile a Mile a little bit. Fine, nice win for Irreverent last time out, but I'd prefer Smile a Mile between the two that have got a bottom line coming into this race. Do you have an opinion on Irreverent at all?
Yeah, he's irrelevant. It's also drawn in 11. Has won at the course though.
Yeah,
and does get first time head cheekers.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. And go on then. Talk about
3-year-old could still be improving. Ground should be fine. What's he running off? 90, won off 87 last time. Was odds on shot. I don't know.
Yeah,
not for me probably.
Talk about Warry for a little bit. You were going to mention him as well.
Well, Warry won this race last year off the same mark. He's 1 win, 1 place from 2 runs at the course. So he's probably pretty solid. 9's not the best draw, but where was he drawn last year? 3. So shows that nice low draw that you want. He's off 95. He's won off 96 this year in June, and he was rated as high as 101, and he's come down from there. Ran okay last time at Doncaster. That was over 10. 2 lengths off the improving Davydenko. So yeah, he's pretty solid, to be fair. This was run on heavy ground last year, but he doesn't need heavy ground. He's won on good to firm, so he's versatile ground wise. He looks solid, to be fair, and he's obviously got the angle that he won it last year. So yeah, could be a target.
Yeah, good. Actually, we've just been talking about the folly of doing podcast previews before the decks are out. Let me tell you who my selections were for this race. Dubai Dominion doesn't run. Kuwait Currency doesn't run. Very good. That was an hour wasted. So actually, to go back, Smile a Mile would be my selection here in the end, with the ones that I've just seen are not running. So Smile a Mile to overturn form with Irreverent in the 2 o'clock. Any selection for you, or are you happy to give that one a miss, really?
I'll be giving it a miss personally. Yeah, I think there's Club Wexford. We haven't touched on Club Wexford. He's 4 or 5 over course and distance. He's just running off a career high mark as an 8-year-old, which is a slight concern, but I guarantee you'll get a run for your money. And as more of a, I wouldn't back in at the price. I'd probably have it between Warreef and Club Wexford, just because you've got that course form. It's a bit of a funky track. I think course form does help, and yeah, but I wouldn't be bothering with it.
Yeah, 240 is the Silver Cup. I can't see a market at the moment, but we'll just we'll throw a couple of horses out there. I think so. You want to be prominent on the pace chart. That is certainly an angle. I would say you don't want to be in the middle of the stalls. I'd prefer to be really on the widest outside, one of the 3 widest in the draw, or maybe one of the first 7 in the draw. So lower. That would be my angle there. One that I will start with, one that I think we both quite like, Alcarama. But you've been saying to me probably likely to be favourite. Second to Swindler last time out, who looks a very nice horse. You tipped it. Still relatively unexposed. Alcarama's damn agreeable miss has had Firedan, who was 102 rated at his peak, and also King Neptune, 99 rated, both also by Warfront. So they're full brother to Alcarama. Also in his benefit, he gets a weight swing with open wide in this race as well. So they're lining up after competing in the past. If open wide made it in, he didn't. Yeah, I quite like Alcarama. Probably is my view on the winner. I can't see a market so I'm probably tipping a 5 there. Your thoughts on Alcarama?
Yeah, no, I like him as well. As you mentioned, that Swindler, I think he's potentially a very good horse.
You think he's still got much give left in the handicap, Mark? You think there's more improvement? Yeah, Swindler. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mm.
I think he's probably at least maybe a Group 3 horse. He won off 90, and he did it. Shit.
Pretty easily.
Yeah, now he's just put one in the bunker. He did it not relatively easy, but he won well enough. Alcarama was conceding £4 to him that day, which is also interesting. He only got beat 3/4 of a length, and I just think that Alcarama is definitely on the upgrade. He only got put up £2. Oh, is he running off the same mark?
No,
he's running off the same mark in this race, but he has gone up in future. So he's running off 90 to go up. So he's £2 well in.
No, he's running off 94, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what I said. He's running off 94. He's due to go up to 96.
Yeah, he ran off 94 against Swindler as well. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. £2 well in, yeah.
He's £2 well in. He looks the most progressive. There's a lot of let's say handicappers in here that are sort of either on the downgrade or are running off sort of high enough mark for them. He looks not totally exposed, obviously, but he looks a horse on the upgrade. Ground will be fine. His 3-year-old won this last year in Snazzy Jazzy, so yeah, he is going to be favourite, but I think he's probably he's a 25 runner handicap, but I think he's actually a decent shout, to be fair. Could just be. Do you know what I mean? Like, he could just be a listed sort of, like Swindler. He could just be better than his original mark. He's running off 94. He could easily be 100 horse. He's already £2 well in. Yeah, I like him for this.
Yeah, me too. We'll talk about a couple of the others. Barbill. What do you think about Barbill?
He's running in the Gold Cup.
Yeah, sorry, that's good. Let's see who will we talk about then.
Well, if you got look at them, there's like Musica. He's like running off a career high. I don't think he can win, even though he's got a good course record. He's 2 for 3 at the course. Fucking Flying Pursuit, who I was adamant was going to win on soft ground because he was just so well handicapped. He just looks gone. Like, his last few runs have been dreadful. Golden Apollo will get backed into probably second favourite, and he looks shite, and he's better on soft ground anyway. So I wouldn't be having him. He's £2 wrong. Get Knotted looks to be on the downgrade. Savalas is another that just can't win. Probably go win now. I've said that, but he can't win.
Top Shagger on board.
Who on who?
On Savalas.
Yeah, well, he can't
Shagger.
win. So it doesn't matter.
Nice draw, wide draw.
Well, yeah, but he can't win. So yeah, you go through him, and he's just Alcarama. He's just the obvious one, isn't he? Like, it's very solid. He's not the only one, but he's the most likely horse that's gonna improve. He's gonna be fast, but he's gonna be there or thereabouts, isn't he?
Yeah. I quite like Red Balloons as well. So she, I think she's got a chance of 95. She's dropping back into a handicap company after running in Group 3 and listed races all season. Last time we saw her in this class, albeit it was as a 2-year-old, she won at 33-1 at York. So she's been, this season, Group 3 listed. Yeah, I think that the class drop. I think there's a bit to exploit. 95 for Richard Fahey's filly Red Balloons. That would be my backup bet.
She got sort of mullered a little bit for winning that race at York. I think it was one of those. It's like a big handicap, wasn't it? That was worth quite a lot of money. And she won it well. She won it by 3 lengths. But I don't think it was that good of a race as the thought it was at the time. And the handicap market really struggled to come down. She's done now this year.
Yeah,
she's £2 wrong as well. But Yeah. Alcarama all day for me. I know it's probably
Okay.
the favourite, so it's a bit boring, but sometimes you just don't knock a gift horse in the mouth, do you?
Very good. Alcarama for me as well. Then 3:15 Ayr. That's the 6 furlong Firth of Clyde Stakes. It's a Group 3 race. Orlith is currently the favourite at the market I'm looking at, followed by Lambeth Walk and Rose of Kildare. I quite like in this. Oh, Melodic Charm's not going. Brilliant. Yeah, I think the favourite's fairly solid then. I've actually got Orlith as my top rated horse here. So yeah, fairly solid. I'll go with the Fav 6-1. Do you have anything here?
I haven't even looked at it, to be fair.
Yeah, let's go. Gold Cup. So the Ayr Gold Cup at 3:50 on Saturday. So Buffer Zone has been smashed up over the last couple of weeks. I think 20s at one point and now 13-2 in the market. Irish horse coming over, won a valuable 78k handicap at the Curragh off 99 on the 15th of September and comes here with a penalty running off 104. So James, do you think Buffer Zone's got is deserved to be that much smashed up in the market, or are people just remembering what happened with Son of Rest last year?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Obviously, Son of Rest, but it was different for Son of Rest because he came second in a Group 1 and then came over for this handicap and loved heavy ground, and it was heavy ground, so it was kind of at perfect conditions for him. I'm not going to lie to you, I don't really watch much Irish racing. Irish racing?
Irish racing.
I don't watch Irish racing. I don't watch much Irish racing because I think the majority of it's garbage. But so I haven't seen the race that Buffer Zone won.
You've just lost us 87 listeners in Ireland.
It's fine. We don't talk about Irish racing really. We let other podcasts discuss that because they do it
with a bias. So they do it to death.
Oh, exactly. So it's fine.
Shame they haven't got any decent presenters on anymore or commentators.
Wow. Well, we met the best one. Doesn't bother with it anymore.
Nah.
So
got that telly gig.
Too many gigs.
Too many gigs. Yeah. Too many pies.
Yeah, like 95 grand breeding fees.
Yeah.
Which is nice. So let's have a look. What he won a Curragh handicap of 99. He's got a £5 penalty. It's £3 winning. No idea of the form. So yeah, he's difficult to sum up, but yeah, as you said, the whole Son of Rest. Is it Son of Rest? Is that his name?
Son of Rest, yeah.
Yeah. So people
Slack horse.
Yeah. So yeah, Stack horse. So yeah, I'm not interested in him at the price, and so yeah.
Yeah, me neither. We'll look elsewhere. Gulliver runs off 98. I think it's definitely a winnable handicap mark for him. He's won off 101 in a handicap in the past, and he was second less than the length off 100. 812 is a lovely weight for him. I think he's got a chance off the mark, but he's not unexposed. So definitely can win. Chance. 3-star chance.
3-star chance.
But 3-star chance out of 5. But I'd be surprised if there isn't anything less exposed than Gulliver is here. And I'd be shocked if he wins off 98. For you, Gulliver?
Nah.
Okay. Summer Hand runs off 92. Highest wins are off 95, 94.
102.
102. That's what I said, isn't it? Did I say 92?
92. If he was not 90, yes. Probably better.
Sorry, 102. Highest wins are off 95 and 94. He's been 2 lengths second off 100 and 3 lengths second off 100 as well. Discounted for me. Summer Hand for you. O'Meara's prominent one in the betting.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Is that the saying?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Well, that sums him up.
Yeah. Who's the biggest flop job? Is it Summerhand, Growl, or Kinran?
Well, Growl won the consolation race.
I know he did. He won for the first time in 2 years.
Yeah, but he got absolutely done over for winning like a listed race 2 years ago or something, or 3 years ago even.
Mm.
And they just put his mark up to like 114. It was like, what the fuck? So he took him years to get down, and he was clearly never that good a horse. Like, it wasn't never 114 or whatever it was horse. It was just so.
I think that's a good biggest handicap bottle job horse.
I mean,
know. It might be Kinran.
Kinran's definitely getting that way. The problem is, and it must be so frustrating for the owners and the trainer, because he's so consistent. His mark just doesn't come down, and obviously it's been progressively going up. It went last season, it went up, whatever it went up for him not winning, and now he's sort of just still runs so consistently over 101. They can't drop him because he's placing, and it's just like, what do you do? Like it sounds dodgy, but I'd run him unfit and get his mark down.
Ooh, you're not allowed to do that.
Well, maybe not unfit. Maybe try him at a new trip. See how he goes over a mile and a half.
Trip handicapping.
Do you know what I mean? Though everyone knows the mischievous ways the trainers can get marks down. Maybe Kinran's owners and trainers just far too
honest.
Too honest, yeah. Too honest for their own good.
Rip-off's he's handicap bottle job as well, isn't he?
No, he won a few. He's won a few. He's just probably too high now, but he still runs well. He's doing the same thing, but he did actually, like, he won that Cunard last year. I think he may have won. He's maybe won or came second in the Victoria Cup or something. So he's not as much as a bottle job.
And we can't say firmament anymore because he actually won a race, didn't he?
Yeah, he won a race
in the season. Yeah.
His best chance is always going to be at York. He runs
there.
But anyway, back to this. I'll give you the winner.
I was enjoying that. No. So Arecibo.
Not for me. Yeah.
I quite like him. 3-star chance.
Yeah, but he since he's come over from La France for David O'Mara.
David.
David, yeah. He's only
O'Mara.
won one, hasn't he? He won one. That was just 91.
It was at Ayr.
98 here.
It was at Ayr.
It was. It was in it was 5 furlong Class 3 race though. So this is a bit of a he's again another one who's run pretty well. Is he better over 5? Just looking.
He's better over 5. My concern with him is the trip. I think the mark's all right. I just don't like the 6 furlong trip.
This is a very competitive race. I don't think the mark's all right. I don't think he'll win something like this off 98. He could maybe win a weaker race off 98. But yeah, just look at his form, like 2nd over 5, 4th only at Doncaster in the Portland. He was 4th in that, but that was 5.5 furlongs. He was 6 furlongs in the Stewards Cup. He was mid-div. A weak race at Ripon over 6. He was 2nd, but fucking hell, Bossy Pop won that. Do you know what I mean? Like, Bossy Pop would be nowhere near in this. So yeah, he's probably better over 5, and I just think he's slightly a couple of pounds too high, even though he's 2 pounds well in. But he'll probably run well. You know what I mean? He'd be one for the shortlist. Probably get pretty close to getting a place, if not in the places. But just not.
Trip worries me. I tell you why I think the mark was all right. When he was last on that mark at York, he was a short head behind Marnie James, who's since gone up the handicap, and Dakota Gold was also in that race, and he's gone well up in the handicap. I think there's a bit of give there, but maybe only a couple of pounds.
Yeah, he'll probably run well. There's a few in this that will run well, but just to go the extra mile to win is a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah. Baron Ball, dead eat last year with Stunner Rest. Ran off 101 last year with Cameron Noble taking off 5. Runs off 99 with Megan Nichols. Taking off 3. Would look like the target. Handicap marker's right. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Probably been laid out for this as well. Where the hell is he? Why can't I see him in
he's not there. Maybe he's not there. He's not there.
He's not going.
He's not going.
Hold him. That is a shock. I thought he was in. I just presumed he was in.
So did I. Yeah. No. We'll scratch that. Baron Bolt's not going.
He was interesting. well, so he must have had a niggle or something.
Yeah. Some people tipped him anti-post, actually. They're going to get stung.
He did. Another podcast put him up.
Yeah.
I've just listened to.
Yeah.
Egg face.
Yeah. On 3, say the winner. Okay.
Well, we're not going to say. Oh, I'll wait because you know what I'm going to say probably.
Oh,
So
I don't.
All right. Okay. I'm looking
on
at it.
3.
Yeah. On
1,
3. Yeah.
2, so 1, 2, 3. Then say the winner.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Intisab.
Laugh a minute.
Good. Well, we picked a different one. Laugh a minute. Go on then.
I'm just looking at Intisab, and yeah, course and distance. He's 2 out of 3. He's got the baby-faced assassin on him.
The killer.
Angus Villiers.
The villain. Angus the villain Villiers.
Wow.
£7. He's worth every pound of that.
Oh yeah, he's very good. Him and Marco Gianni are definitely the apprentices to follow with the nice £7 claim at the moment.
Yeah.
I can definitely see the angle. I just question if he's a bit gone at the game. He's definitely not what he was. 8-year-old now. Decent run last time out, to be fair. Behind Engizart at Doncaster.
Yeah.
That was over 6.5. He's shot down the weights this year, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. His last win was off 103. He's off 99 now.
Yeah, he's actually £1 wrong, isn't he?
Mm.
But yeah, maybe sparked to life slightly last time out. Doncaster.
And the villain's on board. So
I did think that was a bit of a shit race, though. Yeah, to see it. If Villiers can deal with a very 25 runner, you know what I mean? There's going to be lots of experienced jockeys there. They might just outwit him. Do you know what I mean? It's a big ask for an apprentice to win a race like this.
Not possible. He's lethal.
They are apprentices for a reason. But yeah, no, I can see that.
Yeah. Go on then, laugh a minute. Why? Jesus, you've tipped this one a few times this year.
No, not really this year. It was more last year. This is probably a cliff horse for me now. I'm pretty annoyed I didn't back him at 33-1 earlier in the week, but I wasn't sure if he was going or not. Should have texted your mate Roger Varian.
Yeah, got his phone number.
Yeah, so we should have texted him, and then because he's half that price now. Yeah, this is. I've always thought this was going to be a group sprinter. He was rated as high as 109. He's run some very decent races. He ran a second in a Group 3 at France. 4th in a listed race at Doncaster. He hasn't really gone through with his potential. He's only won off 100, but that was in a conditioned race, so it wasn't actually really a handicap mark. There's bits and pieces of form that would have him clear of these law, in my opinion. Second to Invincible Army at Newcastle, that was a decent run. Forget last time out, that he was clearly not himself, but he's been dropped a couple of pounds for that. He's off 103 now. It's interesting that is it the only horse Varian has in the race? He's got a very good record at Ayr. But it's probably more the fact that he's a cliff horse for me. But I do think he'll run well. And I think what might be key is he's got first time blinkers on. I'm hoping that can spark him into life, because if he ran to his best, I honestly do think he would be hard to beat in this field.
Very nice. So laugh a minute for you, Intisab for me in the feature race at Ayr on Saturday. Have you got anything else on the rest of the Ayr card? I haven't.
I don't know. I haven't really looked.
Well, that means no then. We'll go to Newbury.
Okay.
145 is the 5 furlong.
Look, because the fucking stupid At the Races website hasn't been updating. And so, the decks have only just come out. So
yeah. 5 furlong, 145 Newbury. It's the World Trophy Stakes Group 3. Market is headed by Dakota Gold, who's just been a really progressive sprinter for Dodsey all season. Followed by Equilateral for Charlie Hills in the market as well. Then you've got Judicial, Hit the Bid, Keystroke, Ornate. I think this is a pretty boring race, as I think the two at the front of the market are the right ones. I'd have Dakota Gold and Equilateral clear, and I'd have Dakota Gold a shade shorter on price. So for me, yeah, it's between them two, and I could split them slightly, but also on the prices, you're just getting a slight split. So I haven't really got a decent angle into it, to be honest. One that I thought was interesting, but maybe it's one for heavy ground. But I've got a really good figure for this Made in India for Eric Alston, for his Haydock run. But there's two things that concern me. It might just be a soft ground horse, or it might be one of those like funky Haydock figures that when that track just throws up weird stuff. So I need to see him back it up. But on softer ground, so not on Saturday, this might be also the tracker. I quite like Made in India moving forwards if he can repeat the performance of the run he had at Haydock 2 runs ago in June. The Spencer booking was quite interesting as well. But yeah, I think the two favourites are the right ones, and Dakota Gold will probably win it. You?
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. It's pretty boring. Dakota Gold. Sometimes when a sprinter's in form, it's just best to go with them. So yeah. I won't be betting it, but he's probably the most likely winner, to be fair.
Yeah. Then we've got the 220 at Newbury. That's the Arc Trial over 1 mile free. Desert Encounter for Simcock and Spencer is a fairly short price, 13 to 8 favourite. You got Pondus, Pivoween, Wadil Safa, Waldstern in there as well. Waldstern is a horse that you like and you've been successful with recently, and he's kind of one of the he's in the middle of the market here, really. What do you think about his chances here?
Yeah, I like Waldstern. He's obviously impeccably bred, half brother to Voldgeist, and another decent one that I think was run in Germany. He's stepping up in trip slightly again, which should suit. He's obviously by Sea of the Stars. If there was one horse that was going to beat Desert Encounter, I think it would be Waldstern. But Desert Encounter seems to be in really decent form at the moment. Jamie Spencer is getting a good tune out of that horse, and he has got a lot of class. And he's won at this course. He seems to always run in this race. I think he's won it the last 2 years. What is he? 9 stone 6 there, 8 stone 11, the 3-year-olds. I think Volson will give him a good run for his money, but might just get pipped at the post. It depends how far he's come on. He did win quite easy last time, didn't he? But he was only beating handicappers. So it's definitely an interest. It's probably a no bet race, but it is interesting.
Yeah.
So, no, not really much. Pondus. I think Pondus was overrated from a couple of early wins. To be fair, and he ran all right last time up. I'd be disappointed if Waldstern didn't beat Pondus. I just think the pedigree's better, so there's more potential with that. So yeah, interesting to watch, but probably not a betting race.
Yeah, I quite like Waldstern at the weights, to be honest. I've got him a couple of pounds off on highest kind of figure. With Desert Encounter, I've got Desert Encounter with my highest figure based this season, based on his Windsor run on the 24th of August. And then I've got Waldstone only a couple of pounds behind, actually, on the 10th of August run. I think that was the one that you tipped him for. So yeah, with the weight, I quite fancy him to overturn it, to be honest with you. It's definitely between them two, and I'd side with Waldstone on that one, even with the Hadlin handicap.
Well, you're definitely going to get a much bigger price from Waldstone. You'd be at least double the price of Desert Encounter and probably a little bit more. So if you did, I mean, the price gives you the angle to play. The visor obviously improved in last time on. That stays on. So Yeah, it'll be if he beats Desert Counter, he's a pretty damn good 3-year-old, really, Walster.
Yeah. 255 is the Mill Reef for 2-year-olds over 6. Mystery Power for King Power currently heads the market at the moment at 4s. Joint favourite with Pierre Lepin for my mate. Got his phone number, Roger Varian. I tell you what, Pierre Lepin should be nowhere near the same price as Mystery Power in this. Not in the same parish. Mystery Power is the best bet of the week. Yeah, he's only had 1 run. Yeah.
This could be anything.
It's a crap run. Nah, it's a crap run. Crap speed figure. Don't like him. Throw him out.
Figures.
Yeah, infamous speed figures.
Fucking
Mystery Power. Mystery Power. Bet of the weekend. Wheelbarrow time. Pay for your next home improvement.
What?
Mystery Power.
Well, I mean, if you're going from a form perspective, he has to be missed. And he's £3 penalty, remember?
Yeah, wins. I might even do the distance.
Do you know who Pierre Lapin is a half brother to?
I have seen it on Twitter, but I can't actually remember. Who's he half brother to?
Harry Angel.
Ah, yeah.
So he's pretty well related. That run. The last time we saw Mystery Power was in that Vintage Stakes, where we now. If you look at that race, Pinatubo obviously is a machine.
Yeah.
Won his next race. Positive for our friend of the podcast, Mike Spence, won his next race. Lope Fernandez came 3rd, won his last race. Dejanari's a shit piece. He obviously didn't win his last race. Then Platinum Star won his last race. So the form of that race is pretty shit hot.
Fire.
And that's a Group 1 win, a Group 3 win, a Group 3 win, and a listed race win. So
fire.
Yeah, and he beat that Juan Elcano the time before, didn't he?
Yeah.
In that race, which we thought we were onto a good thing with the Dubai, the Godolphin horse, King's Command.
Yeah.
Maybe that race wasn't as strong as we initially first thought, though, because
no, true. I thought it was going to be the next quarter, didn't I?
Well, it looked like Pinatu was. Well, he was the next quarter, and now he's surpassed whatever anything quarter did. But let's have a look at the form of that race. Maybe it's not as strong as we thought, because Juan Elcano, I suppose he was only 1 length behind Fret in that Group 3.
Yeah, he ran out Donny when we were there, didn't he?
The 3rd, Maxi Boy, pretty poor run since, and the 4th has ran averagely, hasn't won. So maybe King's Command has actually run. I didn't know this in Deauville, and he got beat, so he must not be that good. So maybe the form of that Newmarket race, the superlative, isn't as good as first thought, and he did get absolutely.
But the vintage is good. So.
Yes, but he was 15 lengths behind Pinatubo, Tom. He was a fucking mile away. So that gives the impression that if Pierre Lapin is like his half brother and decent, he could be there to be shot at.
No,
it's a no bet race for me. It's
can't lose. Can't lose.
Who knows?
Mystery Power.
No bet.
And then it's a handicap. Forest of Dean is the favourite for a handicap again. Pisses up because there's probably still another £5 or £6 left in his mark. And you got mate Caradox there as well. I mean, this is a lovely race for you. Forest of Dean's fav and Caradox 3rd fav or 2nd fav.
2nd fav now. Basically, instead of going to put your money in the bank, or you may have been paid your wages, if you get paid in cash, don't bother taking them to the bank to put them in, or whatever you do with them. Maybe you
under the bed.
Under the bed in your mattress, maybe safer these days, who knows? Basically, this is the bank of Forest of Dean. I said this last time, and he won very easily at York. Slight note on the handicapper, taking the piss with the John Gosden horse. right? It was a good performance, but it was against pretty handicapped to the tilt horses, older horses, and he beat them about 2 or 3 lengths. He's been put up from 100 to 110. That is ridiculous. He should have got 6 max. So I think there's a bit of a. This happens a lot with the John Gosden horses. I think you get the reputation of Gosden, and obviously usually Frankie's on them, and they win, and so they just automatically assume that it's way ahead of its mark, and they're going to absolutely muller it. Whereas you'll get trainers who aren't as seem to be as good or less a lower profile, and they might win a race and they might only go up £3 or £4. Gosden will get a Gosden tax, then he'll go up 5 or 6, or it'll be double basically. This happened with early in the season. Do you remember Beatboxer?
Yeah.
Yeah, when he won, when he was 20-1, and I put him up.
I was about to do that. Yeah.
Yes. So he won by a nose, and I think he went up. He either went up 7 or 10. It was one or the other, and he won a nose. Like that, it's bang out of order. He was already rated 95. They put him on a ridiculous mark, and he hasn't won since. So there is a Gosden tax, and it's pretty bang out of order. Obviously, most of his horses are better because he's better trained than most people, and they are really well bred, and it costs a fortune, and blah 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 blah. So yeah, that's just a little rant. And Gosden said this recently because he said, well, we were going to run him in the Cambridgeshire, but the handicapper thinks he's halling, and he's put him up £10, and he's taking the piss basically. So I'm actually glad that they're not sending Forest of Dean at the Cambridgeshire. I'm more annoyed that I didn't back Lord North when he was 25s. But yeah, get back to it. Get your money. This is the bank of Forest of Dean. He won for us last time. He probably is a group horse, to be fair. So 110 in hindsight will probably be a fair mark for him. But you've got a handicap on what you've seen. Can't handicap on potential, which is half the problem with the handicappers. So yeah, Forest of Dean wins this. No Frankie, which is a slight concern, but I'm sure Havlin will do all right.
Havlin handicap.
This is a group horse. Since he came back from his little rest, his run at Goodwood and his run at York have been very impressive. The run at Goodwood was probably more impressive because he was beating fellow progressive 3-year-olds. Yeah, I really like this horse. So
what
yeah,
about
Caradoc?
What about Caradoc going back down to 12? So went up to 14 last time out and was third. Goes back down to 12 where he beat Mordred to 2 3/4 length.
10 furlongs.
Sorry, 10. So 1 mile 2, 10. Sorry. He comes back to 10 from 12.
10 probably for now suits him maybe better. It's definitely fine. Caradoc is a horse we both really like when we saw him win at Chester. And yeah, I've only been against him once this year and he fucking won. So, but I think Forest of Dean's different gravy, and he gets to run off 105 here instead of 110, which is obviously a big deal. He just runs under a £6 penalty, which is probably what he should have gone up. This is a decent race, though. This is definitely one for your trackers, even though it's sort of late in the season and they've all had a few runs. Hyana won last time out. Migration looks a horse that's improving. Was second to Hyana by a nose or something. Caradoc was explained we like. I still don't think his mark's done yet. I just don't think he's good as Forest of Dean. Rise Hall has been very progressive. So yeah, it's a very good race, but the bank of Forest of Dean will come rolling on.
Yeah, no interest fees, just paid out.
Exactly, and he's what is he 5 to 2? It's not a terrible price, to be fair. I think he's probably an app.
The rest of Newbury is a bit meh. Good. Best bet of the weekend? Forest of Dean.
Bank of Forest of Dean. Just Even go to the bank, get all your money out, right, and just put it on Forest 15.
Yeah.
You can increase your net worth 2.5 times, pretty much.
Please gamble responsibly.
You look like you're panicking.
I'm just like, please gamble responsibly. Please gamble responsibly.
Pen has come from nowhere, and you're touching it, and you're getting very twitchy with me telling people to put their life savings on Forest 15.
Yeah. Mystery Power, bet of the weekend. Alcarama's pretty solid, isn't he, as well?
Yeah, but I mean that's a 25 runner handicap. But yeah, I think he's got a very good chance.
Cool, good. Any final words on the podcast? Is Pinatubo a monster?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, he's a monster. He's monster on speed figures as well. Absolute monster, by the way.
He's a monster every single which way you look. But I mean, you couldn't back him for the guineas. He's like evens. I'm sure Godolphin might find a way of him not getting there somehow. It seems to always happen. But I hope they don't take him to fucking Maidan. Do not take him to Maidan. Jesus Christ. There's an interesting guy on Twitter. I can't remember his name. Something like
Marmaduke Jinx, isn't it? Yeah, he does good speed figures.
There's a lot of speed figures, and it's quite interesting what he puts. And he's adamant that Pinatubo is going to break at some point because he's just running too well for a 2-year-old and too fast, which is interesting. I was sort of thinking along the same lines of Two Down Hot. Like people said, Two Down Hot didn't train on. He obviously did train on. He still won 2 Group 1s as a 3-year-old. Still a bloody good horse. But the levels Pinatubo was running at the moment, he doesn't need to train on. If he sticks to those levels, he'll still win the guineas.
Yeah, like unseen levels. It's I've just looked at my infamous speed figures. It's miles clear. It's £10 clear of any other 2-year-old, and it's actually the 4th best, and it's the 2nd best over sprinting trips or less than mile trips of 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds. The only 3-year-old I've got who's got a better figure is advertised in the run on the 21st of June at Ascot. Advertised as Ascot run. I've got that a couple of pounds higher, but Pinatubo higher than all of the other kind of less than 1 mile 3-year-old runs as well. Higher than Phoenix of Spain, higher than Hello Youmzain.
Higher than Hello Youmzain. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, higher than 10 Sovereigns at Ascot. Maybe
yeah. I mean, you just gotta hope that he doesn't break, I suppose, or doesn't get injured because he's very exciting. If he turns up in the guineas, if he gets there, you'd think he'd be a shoe-in, but I mean, you'd have to take him on. There's been too many examples. Look at that Air Force Blue. He was supposed to be a shoe-in for the guineas, and he came last time.
It was terrible, yeah. Never won again, did he?
I don't think so. So yeah, Pinatubo is a monster. He just like to. I mean, he's probably going to run in the Dewhurst and be a short price favourite for that, and we'll win it. But you just hope it's not a one race too much because he's had a fair few runs this year now. You would hate to see him. I mean, like put his 3-year-old career at jeopardy just for running too much. But he'd probably win it in a fucking canter, so he might be all right, and then he'll get a nice long break. But who knows? We'll find out next year what he's like. But yeah, he's very exciting.
Yeah, cool, good. It's goodbye from me. Thanks for listening.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for listening.